Hello and welcome to a new episode of Inside Houston Real Estate. Today we're in the highly desired Lynn Park area of Houston, located close to Highland Village, the Galleria, and easy access to downtown. We are featuring a beautiful new elegant home built by Laird Custom Homes. We can't wait to take you inside, so without any further ado, let's get this tour started. So welcome back to the channel. As I mentioned earlier, we are in Lynn Park, which is definitely one of the most highly desired and highly sought after communities when people are relocating to the Houston area. And the home we're featuring today was literally just listed 3 days ago, and we are bringing you an exclusive first look at this home here on Inside Houston Real Estate. So let's take you inside, but before we get there, I want to point out some things on the exterior of this home. So Morgan, what I really love about this home is the exterior elevation. It's different than a lot of the homes we've seen. And let's start with, on each side of the home, on the second floor, you have these window boxes that are framed with stucco. You have the dark window frames and this beautiful brick. It's not that old traditional funky red brick, but it's a really nice color. And the paint color of the stucco along with the brick, it goes together so nicely. Now also the landscaping, Morgan, if you pan down here, you can see how the bed for the landscaping here kind of curves around, and it does the same thing on the opposite side, and it really flows with the way the house sits on this particular lot. I love the exterior front, and the entry is really nice. So follow me this way. I also like the fact that there's a little step up here when you're going towards the front door. Now, Morgan, come this way, and I want you to pan up, because if you look at the wood paneling here in this front covered entryway, the color of that really blends nicely with the color of this brick. All right, so let's go inside. And this is a beautiful steel and glass door. And I like the fact that it has a little bit of a wavy pattern to it, so it's not just wide open so you can look straight through, but it's nicely done, allows a lot of light to come in. And immediately stepping inside, my first impression is wow, because if you pan up, these ceiling heights here, folks, are probably 23 to 24 feet high. And above the front door, there is a window that sits back, so that allows some natural light to flood into the home. So this is kind of an impressive entryway. And before we go any further with this tour, let me give you the specs. This home is 4 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 5,128 square feet. The lot is 7,700 square feet. And this home was just listed 3 days ago for $2,800,000. And I'd like to give a huge thank you to Mike Brombacher of Brombacher & Co. for allowing this tour to take place. His information, as well as my daughter Morgan and mine, will be listed in the description below. So just off the entry when you come in the home, you have your dining area. And this is a really large dining area, because they're only showing a table here that seats 6, but clearly, folks, look at all this room. You can do much larger if you needed to. I love this large picture window right here, allowing that light to come in. And also, let's point out the detail in the windowsill. The last home we posted on the channel had a very similar windowsill design as this. So it's these nice little touches that really make the home pop. Great placement of this mirror, because it really makes this area seem quite large, larger than it actually is, even though it is large. But Morgan, I also want to talk about the width of this hallway that's going to lead down into the living area. This is a really wide space. And before we take you into the living area, I want to point out that as we go through this home, you're going to see a generous use of closets. So here's a coat closet right here off the entry. And here is another closet. It almost looks like a pantry. And you can actually step inside this closet. And this is the first time I've seen this on our channel, where you have a coat closet and another closet right next to it. Now, one of the highlights of this home has got to be the flooring. Look at the pattern of these hardwood floors. This is really beautifully done. The little trim piece that wraps around the bottom of the baseboards matches perfectly with the wood flooring here. I really like what I'm seeing so far. Now, the other thing I'll point out back here in the dining area, if you pan up to the ceiling, it's not quite what I would call a tray ceiling, but they did drop it down a little bit going around to give this area some more definition as far as defining the space. So this is just a really nice dining area. Now, moving the dining area, you have a nice flow into this wet bar wine area. So if you're entertaining, you don't have to go all the way to the kitchen. Morgan, take a look at this. You have an ice maker here. You have beautiful glass front door cabinets with lighting on the inside. And I'll just open this up. It's beautifully done. And look how the cabinets match perfectly with the flooring in the home. And then for you wine lovers and connoisseurs, you have your wine storage right here. And let's point out the fact that they have the upper cabinets as well that are also lit, and they have glass fronts. So if you have nice stemware and things like that, perfect little area. Beautiful countertops, nice drawers, everything obviously soft close. And here is a beverage refrigerator. So this is nice. And then you have this other countertop space here, more cabinetry, drawers, and then you have this nice open area that feeds out into the hallway. So if you're entertaining and you have a lot of people in your house, this is a great place to serve beverages. Maybe you have some appetizer platters here, what have you, but this is just a nice entertainment space right here. All right, now follow me this way, Morgan. And before we go to the kitchen, let's talk about this. I'm going to call it a great room. It's the living area, but this is just beautifully done. I love the wood beams on the ceiling. It's spacious. You have your sofa for 3 there. You have 2 nice chairs, an ottoman, a very large coffee table. So you kind of get the scale of this room, folks. Nice fireplace. I love the design of this mantle. And then on either side of the fireplace, it is bookended with these floating shelves that have the LED lighting shining down, illuminating the area. You have cabinet space below, really nice cabinets, Morgan, solid drawers. This is just beautifully done. And we duplicate that on the opposite side here. So this has a really nice flow. And Morgan, if you turn around, you're going to catch yourself in the mirror, but I love how this designer is using mirrors to really expand the home. Now, this is not a small home. It's 5,128 square feet, but when you utilize mirrors in the design, it really opens the space up even more. All right, let's head to the kitchen because I think this is a very elegant kitchen. And let's start here with this expansive island. Now they've only staged it with 2 chairs here, but obviously you can go 4 with no problem. But look at this, Morgan. Look at the thickness here of the countertop. And then the other thing I want to point out, and you'll see it as we go through the home, the choice of the light fixtures in here are either square or rectangular. So you're going to see that theme carried through, especially when we show you the study a little bit later. But these are really nice. Tons of cabinet space. Once again, glass fronts going all the way up to the ceiling. You have that little trim piece running along the top like crown molding running around. Under cabinet lighting. And the other thing that I want to point out, you do not see any electric outlets on the wall. They have placed them underneath so they're hidden. So the design looks nice and clean. Tons of cabinet space here. And let's make our way here. But before we get there, let's talk about this Miele refrigerator. You know, but I've been doing this for a long time. And normally you see Miele, dishwashers, you see espresso machines, cappuccino machines, things of that nature. This is the first time I've seen a Miele refrigerator. And it has the push feature on the handle, which is nice. And let me open the other side as well. And you just give it a little push, the door will open up so you don't have to tug on it too hard. But this is nice, and obviously love the fact that it is built in. This will close on its own. You have this cabinet space above, and then the glass front doors at the top. This whole presentation here is really nice and elegant. I also like the choice of the paint color because it's kind of an off-white, and it's nice. What do you think about this kitchen so far?
I think it's very beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's move in here where the island is. You have a farmhouse sink, drawers, you have your trash pull out here, dishwasher. Really nice because there's no handle on this, so it's nice and sleek, and the handle is basically tucked away. But let's talk about this Miele range. I get excited about kitchens. I don't know about you, but you have one of the favorite things in a house is a pot filler, folks. I've mentioned this many times on the channel. When you're in homes that are, $1 million or even less, this should be something that's included in every single home. It literally is just another plumbing line running behind. But 6-burner Miele range, griddle in the middle, double oven below. This is nice. And this is the first time I've seen a Miele range as well. All right, more cabinet space. I love how they did the vent hood. And look at this, Morgan. Look how large these cabinet doors are. Now you can point up there. This is actually where your fan goes up through, but it's really deep. So if you needed some extra storage, you could actually put some things right here. All right, let's close that. And the quality of these cabinets is exceptional. All right, now folks, we've been seeing this lately a lot on the channel where you have kind of huge oversized pantries or what they call dirty kitchens. This is obviously your clean kitchen. So Morgan, let's go in through here because folks, this is your oversized pantry. And you can see you have a sink here, beautiful countertops. You have another dishwasher right here, tons of shelf space. So this is quite a large pantry. We don't typically see pantries this size. Now we have recently on the channel, but it's just nice having this extra area. I also want to point out the backsplash here, and you have room to do another refrigerator as overflow right here. So very thoughtful design. And then as we step out of this pantry, you have your breakfast nook here. But what I have to point out, Morgan, is all of the windows. I'm so happy to see that builders and developers are really maximizing the natural light to come in by doing long picture type windows. So you have your 2 windows here to the left, you have the 2 in the back, and you even have 1 here in the corner. So folks, look at all the light that comes into this space. And they did a nice circular table here. Once again, talking about the light fixtures, it's square in shape, which this is the same pattern and the same line as the pendant lights here. And it's so crazy because you almost don't even want to call these pendant lights anymore because they're like mini chandeliers. All right, now you have a wonderful backyard. The lot, as I mentioned earlier, is 7,700 square feet. So not huge, but plenty large enough. And I don't want to go through that way, Morgan. Let's go this way because you have these beautiful sliding doors. And we'll open these up. And you can step out with me, Morgan. Watch your step there. And I like the fact that the same wood paneling that is here is the same that's in the front covered entryway before you get into the house. So everything blends very cohesively. And once again, the dark window frames really give a nice pop of contrast when you're looking at this home. And this is a different type of rear covered patio design. Instead of it being directly behind the sliding doors, we move over here to the right and you have this whole setup with an outdoor kitchen. They continue this paneling, nice ceiling fan. You even have some boxes up here, so if you want to do some surround sound speakers up there, you can do that as well. But this is a nice presentation. I can definitely see enjoying some time out here. And then the lot itself, it just so happens, it looks like the tree has grown literally through the fence. But this is nicely done, so it's nice to have these trees. It gives it some cover, especially on these hot summer days here in Houston. So taking a look at the backyard, if you wanted to do some type of water feature, it is large enough to get something done here. Morgan, we'll just step over here and take a look at the back of the house. It's nice. The color tones, they're earthy, really flows nice. And when you come back this way and you look back towards the outdoor kitchen, you can see how those trees are literally, how they built the fence around the tree. And you know, these are some probably pretty old trees. All right, so let's head back inside. So as we're wrapping up the tour on the first floor, there are actually 3 more areas I want to show you before we take you to the second floor. So follow me this way. The first area that I forgot to mention earlier, since we were already in the kitchen, is the mud area just off the kitchen. And this is nice. I mean, it's large, plenty of room. Hang your coat. You have nice cabinets here. Look at the shelves again. I'm impressed with the shelves. A lot of times you see these little chintzy shelves. So this is nicely done. And then the garage is right here. So if you're pulling into the garage, you come in through here. 2-car garage. They've done the epoxy coating on the floor here. So if you have any oil spills, and this is the other thing I like, the fact that they did a baseboard above the epoxy that is raised up. So nothing spectacular about it, but it's just nice. The other thing we need to point out, because EVs, electric vehicles, are becoming more and more popular each and every day, there is a 220 outlet here. So if you have an EV, you can plug in here. So they kind of got you covered. And then these lights here are interesting. They're large.
They are pretty big.
I'm just looking at these. I'm like, those are the largest circular lights I've seen in a garage.
Yeah, it's definitely well lit in here.
Yeah, it's well lit for sure. So the last area we're going to show you down here is kind of, I call it a combo area, because as I mentioned earlier, this home is 4 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. But this, which you're going to consider to be your study, you can see you have French doors here, glass front. And they have staged this as a study/office, large picture window right there in the back. I love the wood paneling that they've done here on this side, but check this out. There's another closet. So there's tons of storage space in this house. Now, this technically, folks, could be considered a bedroom because you do have a window and a closet. So depending on your lifestyle and how many guests you have coming to visit, this could easily be a bedroom. And the reason I say that is because it also has a bathroom attached to it. And take a look at the tile here, Morgan. This is beautiful. I believe it's porcelain. I'm not sure. But you have a full tile surround in here. And I love the fact that the shampoo bottle niche there, they did the tiling same as the mud set shower floor here, as well as the floor in the bathroom. So it all blends nicely. You have a handheld, you have the regular shower head there. And so this is all connected, and this bathroom will double for your guests as well. Take a look at the presentation here. You have a suspended cabinet. Beautiful countertops. I think this is a job well done. All right, So folks, now what we're gonna do is we are gonna take you up to the second floor. And before we get there, you know what? Check this out, Morgan. Another closet. Listen, if you have kids, they be playing hide and go seek like seriously in this house. All right, so let's head up to the second floor. I love the wood stairs here, beautifully done. But the nicest thing about this stairwell is it is definitely kind of U-shaped. A couple of stairs there, you head up and then up again. But let's point out all of the windows coming up the stairs. Once again, maximizing the amount of natural light that can come into the home. This is really nice. I could even see people doing some type of, I don't know, picture frames, vases on this. Two really tall picture windows. And then as we make our way up, even on this side of the house, you have three tall vertical windows. But also, Morgan, let's talk about this wood paneling design. Folks, leave a message in the comments. Do you like this? A lot of times we go into homes and it's just a flat wall. So I think when builders add these extra design features, I think it's definitely an add-on and it's a plus to the design of the home. All right, so we've made it up to the second floor. Now in track and field, in the relays, what do? They pass the baton, and now I'm gonna pass the baton to my daughter so she can give you a tour of this second floor. And the primary bedroom and bath is beautiful. I can't wait for her to share it with you.
Hey guys, it's Morgan here, and before we go any further on the second floor, I just want to point out a few details on the stairwell that we didn't mention earlier. So if you just pan around here, we have a vaulted ceiling with a wood beam. You have the chandelier casting down from that wood beam. And I just want to take a minute to really take in all these windows. This is a beautiful feature of this home.
It's really nice. I mean, I point out the windows as we came up, but from your vantage point, as opposed to mine when I was coming up the stairs.
Yeah, it's really aesthetically pleasing, and you get so much natural light just from this portion of the house alone. All right, so let's continue. As we step off the stairwell, we have this really expansive game room, sitting area. I mean, of course, this space can be whatever you guys want, but it's really large. It's meant for entertaining. And this window here, you could actually, we had this idea of putting maybe a bench sitting area right here.
That would be a cool idea.
Yeah, really cool. And then, but just tons of space, tons of wall space, so you can hang your art, maybe a couple of flat screen TVs up here, but
clearly large enough to hang a couple of flat screen TVs.
Yeah, you can do more than one.
I know, that's a lot of wall space.
You can get creative. I love the baseboards. They did the trim underneath as well, so that was a really nice touch. But like I said, this space is meant for entertaining. So here we have a wet bar. I love the black contrast on the cabinetry with this quartz countertops. They did floating shelves with LED lights underneath. And then you also have a beverage refrigerator as well. So this space is awesome. You know, you have downstairs entertaining, and then you can bring it upstairs too.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do with this space, but I mean, you could have a pool table. You could have a pool table next to a ping pong table.
Yeah, put up a couple of arcades, a pinball machine. It's over.
I know, it drives the parents crazy.
Yeah.
All the kids in the neighborhood want to come here.
Yes. And then right off the stairwell as well, we do have a a walk-in closet with built-in shelving, and that is really deep actually, so you can go ahead and show them just how deep that is.
Yeah, and I mentioned, I think when we first started out, the generous use of closets here. They really were mindful of people needing storage.
Yes. So on this floor, we have 3 secondary bedrooms, and then we have our primary, which we're very excited to show you. Let's hit 2 of the 3 on this wing of the house. So we'll walk in to the first one. Nice size. I love the wood flooring that they did throughout this home. We have 2 picture windows here, and these actually open so you can get some nice fresh air in.
Oh, both of them open. That's
Yes,
pretty cool.
both of them open. You have a really nice large walk-in closet as well. And you can show them that.
Wow. It's deeper than I thought.
Yes, so you have racks, and then behind the door you do have some built-in shelves.
Very cool.
All right. And then this one is ensuite with a bathroom. So you have your sink and countertop here. I love the walk-in shower. Look at the detail on the flooring. Just the finishes that they chose, I think, are really nice. They're neutral, but they're very elegant, very, just very pretty. It's almost like a travertine on the wall.
You know, and it might even be travertine. I'm not sure if it's travertine or it's ceramic, but it looks good.
Yes, and then the detail on the flooring matches the shampoo niche on the wall as well.
Yeah, it's nice.
All right, so we just saw secondary bedroom number 1. As we make our way down this hallway, we do have a powder room to my left. It'll be to your right on camera, but this caters to anybody that is maybe hanging out in the media room, game room, but it's just nice touch because you do have that powder bathroom here. So now we're in secondary bedroom number 2. Again, this is expansive. You do have 2 windows, and these both do open up just like we saw in the last one.
And you know, Maureen, this bedroom's larger than the secondary bedroom.
This one
number
is larger too.
Really nice sized room.
Yes, and you have a really nice size walk-in closet. It's not as deep as the last one that we did see, but you do have the racks and the built-in shelving in there as well.
Right. You know, what's hilarious is, I don't know, just maybe it's the era I grew up in and you grew up in even, but kids nowadays are spoiled.
Spoiled.
I remember showing houses out in Bridgeland, and parents would come in and go, oh, this closet isn't big enough for little Johnny. And I was like, well, how old is little Johnny? Oh, he's 3. I'm like, what does little Johnny need? You know, it's like crazy.
It is crazy.
Like, who's buying the house?
So,
I think the kids are taking over nowadays.
I'm saying, the kids have more say these days. But anyways, now we're in the bathroom, and all of the secondary bedrooms are en suite with a bathroom. So this one, they did a tub and shower head combo, and we have that same travertine style tile.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is nice. It's neutral, but I think it's, you know, it's elegant, and it'll go really nicely with any type of furniture that you put in this home.
Right.
All right, so just on the opposite side of the game room, we have secondary bedroom number 3. You can follow me in here. And this is actually the corner of the front of the home. So in this secondary bedroom, we have 3 beautiful large windows. And I love this room specifically more over the other 2 that we just showed you, because look how much natural light you get into this bedroom alone. You are facing out into the front of the home. So you have this beautiful tree-lined landscape. It's very scenic.
It is. It's like a painting.
And just look, this window almost takes up this whole wall. So tons of natural light. It's beautiful. I would put a bench there, and you know, you could make this your little reading area or what have you.
Absolutely.
Really beautiful. And then over here, you do have a nice walk-in closet.
And this one also is en suite.
Yes, so this is en suite with a bathroom. So you have this beautiful, almost like a marble tiling on the floor. It goes very well with the quartz countertops on the sink.
Nice. You know what? That's a kind of a cool light fixture there.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And then they did the same flooring on the tile surround for the shower tub.
That's a nice touch.
Yes.
Yeah, everything flows nice and cohesively, as you would say.
Now we will make our way to the laundry room just before we get to the primary bedroom. But it's a nice laundry room.
Yeah, it's adequate. I mean, you don't need
Yeah.
what's cool about it, there is a sink.
There is a sink. You have plenty of storage. I like that they have this floating shelf here, so that gives you even more storage. You can keep your countertops clean. And I love the flooring in here as well. It's almost like that travertine that we saw in the bathroom of the secondary bedrooms, but in a different shape. All right, so let's show you the primary bedroom. And I love the fact that you actually have a hallway leading into the primary bedroom. So it's not just a door here. You do have a little drama, as I like to call it, as you make your way into your bedroom. Before we get in there, I did want to point out there is a storage closet here. They did some really nice built-in shelves.
Cool.
Yes, so really nice. And then you do have French door entry. So you can come on in. And this is just a really nice presentation of a primary bedroom. It's quite expansive. You have a tray ceiling, and I love the fact that they did some LED lighting in it as well. So, you know, if you just wanted to leave those lights on or your ceiling fan light on, you still get a nice amount of light in this room. I love the use of the mirrors in this space as well, because it really makes the space seem larger than what it is.
It almost like you're in a fun house.
Yes.
I mean, when you first walk in, the mirror there behind you right now, you're looking at trees, but it's really the trees out to
Out in the
that
backyard.
window.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yes,
Yeah, I
and-
love the use of mirrors in this home.
Me too, and I love the 3 windows here that we have. They broke it up, but 2 of them actually open. So I really like that feature, because I feel like a lot of times when we go into these houses, the windows don't open. They're pretty to look at, but we can't get the fresh air from outside. So
Right.
I like that they included that. Now we'll make our way into the primary bath. This is one of my favorite features of this home. We have French door entry, and you're immediately greeted by this beautiful soaking tub, car wash, shower. This is just exceptional. I love the use of the tile surround, and even the same tile surround is the backsplash for your soaking tub. So
Yeah, that's really nice.
really beautiful, and actually matches the flooring as well. So the same flooring we see is the tile surround and the backsplash that you see above the soaking tub. I love the dual vanities. So this is perfect for couples. You know, it gives you a little bit of separation here. I love the wood contrast with the white quartz. And these are so unique to me. They're almost like mini lamps that are basically planted onto your mirror there. But I thought that was a cool little feature of this bathroom.
They are. It's like the fact that they are really, like you said, mini lamps as opposed to sconces that kind of fit flat.
Right.
It's a really nice design feature.
All right, so let's take you into the shower. This, to me, is one of the best features of this bathroom alone. I love the finishes in this bathroom. You have 2 shower nooks here. You have a handheld here, dual shower heads. And look at how expansive this large picture window is. Now, you might want to be a little cautious, maybe get some blinds or some sort of,
Right.
some sort of tint on the window,
Right.
maybe, so people don't see you. But
People see you lathering up, and if you look across,
yeah.
they have a bird's eye view right there.
Oh yeah, just directly looking inside. But really nice presentation, and it's really large. So I mean, there's tons of separation from this. I mean, where you're standing to where I'm standing, it's quite large.
Yeah.
So a lot of developers tend to only do one large closet, but this developer was courteous and thoughtful to do his and hers closet. So we'll take you into this one first. And they really maximize the space in this closet. So we have really nice built-in shelves that go from floor to ceiling.
Wow, that you don't really see the shelving that goes floor to ceiling, so that's pretty cool.
Yes, and even the racks and the shelving above the racks go floor to ceiling as well. And you do have drawers here that are soft close. You even have outlets into your above your dresser too.
Nice.
So I think this is a nice presentation of a closet. I think the only thing they would be missing is a full length mirror, but you can put that in the bedroom.
So let me ask you the question of every video. Would this get Melanie's stamp of approval?
Probably no.
Yeah, you know, I think
she'd probably need both of them.
And then I wind up in the secondary closet.
Yeah. And on the opposite side, we have the other walk-in closet, and then we also have your water closet as well. So I like that that is nice and tucked away. It's private. And then you can follow me into this walk-in closet. And again, they did a really nice job of the built-in shelves, the hanging racks, and they definitely maximize the space in this one too.
This would work for me.
For you.
So that concludes our tour of this beautiful, elegant home built by Laird Custom Homes here in Lynn Park. Folks, I don't think this home is going to stay on the market that long, so if you're interested in a private tour and showing of this house, please reach out to us. Our contact information is below in the description. I'd like to give a huge thank you once again to Mike Brombarker and Co. Group for allowing this tour to take place. Folks, definitely subscribe to our channel. It helps us bring you these videos each and every week. We'd love to hear from you, so leave us some comments. Hit that bell so you get notified when we release new videos each and every week. Folks, it's been a pleasure sharing this home with you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.